been 2 weeks. I had to go hunting, boys. So if you can hear me, I apologise. But I think I will make this fortnightly from now on. It's just going to take a little bit of pressure off. But first of all, welcome to Robbo's Tech Talk Tuesday. And tonight it's episode 7, choosing the right calibre cartridge. This is really going to be a topic that's probably going to be open to a little bit of discussion, and it's really going to need a fair bit of feedback, a few questions. Hopefully there's a few on board. And tonight's topic is brought to you by Shane Gibb. He's the one that mentioned it to me, and I thought it was a really good topic. One that, like I said, can be a bit controversial sometimes. And I'm probably just going to give my little bit of a take on it, how I make decisions on which direction I go. But like I said, hopefully we'll get a few on, because at this stage I can see Richard Hatfield, Dale J and Shane Villas. It's a little bit quiet tonight. So maybe this will be a short but sweet. Oh, Paul's up. Yeah, best calibre. All right, boys. This is going to be a pretty open discussion. So it is question based, very much so. But yeah, I had to go hunting, guys. Can't stand around. As much as I love being here, Tuesday we were right in the mix of it. So there's a few coming up now. Good to see. We got Paul Ayres, Dale J, Jamie M, Axel Mech, NJMSEDC. Nathan, how are you, buddy? There's some great people up here. Reg Parker, Sammy James, Ian Colleen, Vic Hunt and Harvest, Michael Darcy, Aaron Plummer, Bradley Moore, Tim Edwards. So like I said, guys, I think one of the biggest topics or biggest questions that's asked of me sometimes is, what calibre or what cartridge should I buy? And obviously it comes down to a variety of things, but the first thing is, obviously your designated target, or whether it's going to be a live target, a paper target. So yeah, it's not an easy topic, but if you can sort of narrow it down to what your requirements are, it certainly makes it probably a lot easier than you think. A few more getting up there now. Tim Edwards, Brad Moore, how are you guys? Anthony Winterfield. Oh, he loves the videos. Good on you, mate. Thank you. Sam, hi, Robbo. Gordon Walls, what's up? Not much at the moment. Yes, we had a great time, guys. Video is in the process of being done now. Probably out maybe on the weekend or maybe a little bit later, depending on how much time I get. But obviously it does take a little bit of time. So, all right, here we go. Axel Mech. I'll kick her off. Thanks, mate. I went a bit overboard for my first rifle. Went out and bought a T3X in 300 Win Mag for deer, but have had more fun on my CZ45722. Mate, look, I often get asked this: if you had to keep one rifle, what would you keep? And I'd struggle to go away from the 22. Like, it's so flexible. Realistically, with the right shot, you can just about put any animal down. Plinking, targets, whatever. You can't go wrong. I think everyone should start off with a 22. The other rifle, you got T3X in a 300 Win Mag, standard. If it's the plastic stock, a light barrel, it can be a handful of gun. But I know plenty of blokes use them very, very well. So if you can shoot it, and that's what it comes down to in the end, if you can handle that gun and you can basically put that bullet where you want, well, it's the right gun for you. Pretty simple. Carl McKenzie's up. Robert Geyer, Deer Hunter 338. What's for dinner? Pepsi Max. Brad Moore. I'm usually Tika T3X and 308 for Samba with 180 grain round. Now I'm looking at a 4570. Yeah, Brad, obviously the 4570 is, most people go for that in a lever gun, and some of the earlier Marlins fantastic, and they sort of, as much as I'm not a massive lever gun fan, I have one in a 44 mag in the similar era, and with a bit of work, you can really get them singing. Hand loads are definite. 45-70 is a hell of a gun and definitely a good caliber for bush sambar. Yeah, look, if I don't know if you'd get them into the country anymore, but there was if you're going to get one, definitely a few mods you want to do on the Marlins for argument's sake, and that'd be what I would recommend. Is I think it was called a Happy Trigger. I've never ever had such a good trigger on a lever gun. Is that it was? Oh, I have to double check on this, but it was basically bought in. I think it was. I can't think of the actual company, but might have been Wild West Outdoors or something like that. Someone here might be able to answer the question, but they were well worth the money if you're going to get a 45-70 in a lever gun. And then you just got to choose what scope. That little Carl's one, I've got that 1-5. It'd be hard to beat on that thing with the red dot illumination. Jamie M, venison stags, bacon for me, eating it right now. Oh, now I'm hungry. Andrew Morris, g'day Rob, worked with you on the lifts at Swin Uni. G'day mate. Been racking my brain how I knew you. I just brought a Sauer 300 win. Guys are telling me it's too powerful as most hunting is within 200 metres. Well, depends on what your targets are, but if it's for deer, definitely not too powerful. If you can handle it, mate, and put the bullet in the right place, it's going down. Aaron Plummer, I'm in Tassie and shoot with a Seiko 75 in 243, and it is more than enough for our deer, and I also shoot roo with a Seiko 85 222, and both great. Love the video, Cobber, thanks. Both great calibers and both great guns. So yeah, I think you're on the money there, Aaron. Matt Bender, love the group chats, keep it up. Well, I'm going to try, mate, but like I said, I think I'll look at this stage. They may still be up weekly, but I think to be realistic, they're probably going to be fortnightly. But I need more input, and thanks to Shane Gibb for bringing tonight's topic up. There's been plenty of other great topics brought forward, and I'm going to go through those over the coming months. But definitely, guys, yeah, your input is really much needed and really much appreciated. Cato 7669. I bought a 243 WSSM and I love it. Now that's a very interesting caliber, and I think it's one that hasn't really taken off. Actually, I know it's one that really hasn't taken off, but doesn't mean it's a bad cartridge. Just means it might be harder to get some gear and some ammo for it. But if you're a hand loader and look after your brass, it's going to be a pretty potent rig. Bob Builder. If I had to have three, they'd be a 22, 223 and 3006. Or 308 and 3006, I think he meant there. And, mate, hard to go wrong with those choices. Loaded Dog. I noticed tape at the end of barrels. I know it's to stop crap going down the barrel, but can you shoot without taking it off? Can you shoot through the tape? I'm not game enough to test. Yeah, go for it, son. Yeah, everyone does it. It's not an issue, mate. Matt Boxwell, I run the common calibers, 22 long rifle, 223 Remington and 308 Win. Any negatives for having a 308? No way known. Look, I think the big thing, often people ask me 308 or 3006. And the first thing I'll ask them is obviously what their intended targets. The second thing I'll say to them is, are you going to be a hand loader? Because if you're going to be a hand loader, you can pretty much load the 308 up to what factory 3006 is doing an equivalent load pill. So, yeah, look, that's one of the reasons I went for the 308 and the fin light, because the 3006 in the fin light is actually steps up to the next action length. I think the barrel may be a fraction longer, but the overall gun was bigger. And I know for a fact that my 308 hand loads pumping out will be probably just as fast, if not faster, than the equivalent in factory or some factory ammo in the 3006. So yeah, look, I think they're great calibers what you've chosen there, mate. Dale J, best fun I've had has been with a 22 by far, mate. Like I said, I can't get enough of the old 22. Don't shoot it a lot now because I'm doing probably other sorts or other forms of hunting. and the rabbits have really died off. But Sammy James, oh sorry Matt, for dear, I've got to go back. Look, this is the trouble. If guys, you just have to be pretty specific with your questions, because I have to go back and just double check. I'm probably going to get a little bit lost, to be honest with you. So yeah. So if I've missed anyone, send me a personal message or whatever, and I'll definitely try and answer it for you. All right, Sammy James. I have a Weatherby 3006. Great rifle and perfect for what I do and where I hunt. Mate, again, 3006, how can you go wrong? Or, as the Americans would say, 30-6. Aaron Hewitt. Wild West Guns, best bit of gear from Marlin 1895. Mate, it is. If you can still get them, I don't know what the import side of it's going to be like now, as it's classed as obviously a gun part, but it transforms those Marlin lever guns. And there's a couple of other issues with some of the Marlin lever guns. Some of them suffer from what they call Marlin jam, where the actual lever does jam up, but there's parts and bits you can get to remedy that as well. But if you're going to buy a Marlin, try and get one of the older JM stamped ones. Ben Steer, just got a PTA in the mail this arvo. Can't decide between 22-250 or a 204, mainly for bunnies, foxes and feral cats. Are these okay for wild dogs? Well, for the first three you mentioned, hands down, it's a great little calibre. Wild dogs, definitely it's going to be on the light side. The 22-250 is going to give you the option of being able to load heavier pills. Obviously, you're only really limited to around the 40 grain maximum, maybe a little bit heavier on the 204. And it's probably doesn't give you the option as much. But if you took the wild dogs out of the equation, personally, I'd probably, well, either one's going to do the job, but personally in a sporter weight, I'd go the 204, and one of the reasons I've got one. Mitch WA, using 223 for goats as it's my only rifle and feral goats are becoming a problem. What would be better, Blitz Kings or soft point? 223 for goats. Probably the soft point, to be honest with you. You want something that's probably just going to punch through a little bit more than sort of... Blitz King's more of a varmint projectile. But again, well placed shot, I think. And also the distances that you're going to be hitting them at. Sort of probably 100 yards, or actually 150 yards onwards. Actually, probably 200 yards. The Blitz King probably won't be as expandable as quickly. But yeah, definitely probably a standard soft point if you can get them shooted right. All right, guys. Michelle Huben. Robbo, been looking into doing some varminting. Foxes and rabbits. Most likely going to buy the 45-70. Good for quick follow-up shot, and flat shooting ammo is relative cheap as well. I'm not sure. 45-70 on rabbits and foxes. I'm not sure if that's a typo, but definitely wouldn't be my choice. Right, Axel Mech. Robert, tell us your thoughts on minimum caliber for different game, foxes up to buffalo. I don't know what it is, guys. Every time I start this, I get an itchy nose. All right, foxes, minimum caliber, 22. Buffalo, that is something that, if we're talking water buffalo, I don't think I want a minimum. I think you want to have the biggest you could possibly handle. They're a pretty tough-skinned animal and something that I haven't personally hunted. So I'd probably, I'd be looking at the biggest you can handle would be my suggestion there, and a very stout pill. Something like the Woodleys or something like that, I think would be definitely worth the go. Bob Builder, what's your thoughts on military and wildcats? Well, military is a pretty general term, as in 223, 308s, all good calibers. And the best part about those is you never have problems getting components, your brass and whatnot. Wildcats, it depends on your purpose and your use and how much shooting, how much time you've got. If you're going to be a hand loader, obviously you're going to have to be a hand loader if you're going to be doing wildcat sort of cartridges. So not my sort of thing, purely because I really just want to stick to stuff that I know I can get. I don't have enough time to be mucking around fire forming cases and running multiple dies through that. Look, realistically, as much as I enjoy reloading, I enjoy hunting more. So, yeah, less time spent reloading and more time hunting would be from my side of it. But you know, a lot of people really like the tinkering with it. So it really comes down to an individual thing there. Cohen McKenzie, 22 or 17 HMR for varmint hunting. Well, obviously the 17 HMR's got the range. The 22 is going to be far cheaper to shoot. It comes down to range. Probably out to maybe 100, 120 if you really know your 22 and you've got it sighted well. On rabbits, no dramas. Foxes, you're going to be limited to probably 50, 70 yards with a 22 to kill them outright, and you want headshots with them. 17 HMR obviously pushes that far further. Like rabbits, no problem out to 200 yards, and I usually sight my 17s about half an inch high at 50, which sort of I know I need to give it about a 6-inch holdover at 200 yards. Obviously, the wind is a major issue with a 17, but not as much as you possibly would think. So yeah, again, if I had to pick one, it'd be the 22. But if I was serious, sort of definitely stepping up for foxes as well, the 17 is going to be probably the better choice there. Eric Zwigler. Hey, Eric, good to see you here, mate. Hard to beat the 222 and 243 for foxes and deer. Yeah, two of my favourite calibers and have to 100% agree. Mark Rankin, 270 Brownie X-Bolt. Do I need bigger caliber for sambar? No, not at all, mate. Look, it comes back to what I always say, shot placement. And when you got the smaller of the sort of the sambar range, you've really got to stop where you possibly can and think whether you can put that shot in a well-placed zone. And sometimes it means you might have to pass a deer up. And I would prefer to do that than have a swinging shot, a running shot with a smaller caliber and just wound that deer and basically not only ruin that for yourself, but you've ruined that opportunity for anyone else. If you pass that deer up, there may be another hunter that gets a better opportunity than you. Now, I know it's hard to do sometimes, but the 270 definitely with the right pill. Speak to Dougie Reed, mate. He still goes back to his 270. I know it's one of his favourite calibers, and he's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to sambar and the 270. So Doug's on a lot of the forums and whatever. Get onto him. He's, like I said, wealth of knowledge with the 270. Richard Hadfield, when can we expect next hunting video out? Well, I'm working at it at the moment, but yeah, this work during the day gets in the way. So I'll be working on it this weekend, and it's going to be a little bit different, this one, guys. It's going to be probably longer than I would normally do a video. So some feedback will be great on it. I usually keep them short and sweet, but this video is going to be a bit longer. So definitely give me a little bit of feedback when it comes out, please. Aaron Hewitt, Cleavers sell the kits in Queensland. That's good to know. Thanks, Aaron. Very, very good information there. I take it you're talking about the happy trigger. Chuck. Hi, mate. Great work. Was looking at the Kimber Longmaster Classic in 308. What's your thought as a deer rifle? Kimbers, I haven't had any personal experience with, but I'll get corrected here. I think Tony Gillahan's the man to speak to there. He's been pretty happy. I think he's got the Kimber in the 308. 308, great caliber. It's just a great all-rounder, mild to shoot, well-placed shot, and you'll put any sambar down. All right, Jamie M. I run a 22, 223, 243, 2506. The 2506 is definitely worth looking at, especially for reloaders. Yeah, it's very versatile caliber. Probably not so much used out here in Australia, but I know the New Zealanders, the Kiwis, and I think it's one of Jamie Carl's favourite guns, old Mountain Man. I think he still likes his 28506 for New Zealand hunting. So definitely got the range, definitely got the legs. All right. Matthew Painting. Mate, I love my 204. It's a laser. Best rifle. I've gone to leave my 17 HMR in the safe these days. Yeah, look, I've been pretty happy with mine. Pretty impressive little cartridge, to be honest with you. Hillside Strangers. Tossing up between a Tikka T3X or Seiko 85 in 308. If I get the Tikka, I would have more money for optics. Where should I spend my money, gun or optics? Optics. Hands down, optics. Put your money in your optics. All these rifles will shoot pretty good, especially if you're a hand loader. Look, the Seiko 85 definitely has a better reloading system, as in it's not single stacked, it's staggered. You can top feed. It's probably a little bit quieter on the actually chambering around, but the Tikka T3X are every bit as good a shooter, and in a lot of cases better out of the box. So yeah, look, all I can say is have a look at the rifle that I use mainly now for my deer hunting. I could have picked pretty much whatever I wanted, and that Tikka was just hard to go by. The Grog Dog. Hey Steve, me mate Jace recommended reloading my air rifle. Oh, good on you, mate. Aaron Plummer. A lot of my mates are getting into 300 Win Mag or 300 WSM. Are they any better or necessary for your Samba and Reds over the 308 or 270 or even 3006? What's your best recommendations? Thanks again. Well, obviously they're a step up, and basically when you're comparing, say, the 308 or the 3006, you're basically just talking about more velocity from the muzzle. So you've got a little bit more downrange hitting energy. Again, well-placed shot. They're not going to be that much better, but they do give you more options to sort of go to that heavier pill and still retain good speeds and obviously more hitting power. So definitely 300 Win Mag, if you can handle it, and the same with the 300 WSM, is going to have more punch. But it comes down to whether you can shoot that rifle well. And a lot of people end up developing flinches that they can never really get over when they go to the Magnum cartridges. It's an individual thing, and what I would suggest, if you've got a mate that's got one of those bigger Magnum sort of calibers, see if you can have a crack, see how you can go shooting it on a target, and if you can sort of shoot an inch group, if that rifle's capable of it, and you feel comfortable behind it, that would be what I would suggest. Okie doke. Brad Moore, 22 Hornet is great on foxes and rabbits. Yes, but not the best cartridge to reload unless they've improved the brass. It used to be very thin on the brass, and the brass never used to last that long. Yeah, so I think there's better cartridges than that nowadays. Jamie M, look forward to longer hunting vids. I usually wish there was more, as they are so good. Thanks, mate. Well, this is a little bit different for me, so I'm very wary that I don't want to drag them on too much, you know. But like I said, I've got to listen to what you guys enjoy, and because that's what we're here to do, is give you videos that you enjoy. What we enjoy making, well, most of the times. The boys don't like me sticking the cameras in their face all the time, but you know, it's to their credit. They make it, and they really help me out. So, Jamie M. Oh, sorry, I've already answered that one. James Vickery. G'day, Robbo. What's your thoughts on the new 6.6mm PRC? Mate, I can't keep up with all these cartridges, so I know nothing of it. All the 6.5s are obviously the, the flavour of the month at the moment, but Robbie fishing. Now, here's a bloke, I'm the worst fisherman ever, but I can tell you now, he has helped me catch cod. Murray cod, I tell you now, is a wealth of knowledge. The best bloke you can ever talk to. Jump on his channel, Robbie Fishing, mate. It's fantastic. We have a laugh together, and he's a mad keen photographer and just an all-round great bloke. And to his credit, he's just been endorsed now, he'll correct me if I'm wrong here, but by the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he's really just got a big heart. So thumbs up, Robbie. But shooting's better, mate. Sorry. Okay. James Vicker, 6.5 PRC, sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking, hold on, don't throw another 0.1 in there. It's really confused me. But again, mate, I don't know much of it. I have heard of it. No first-hand knowledge. But I'm interested to hear some feedback, though, guys. Bradley Moore, mate, whatever you do with the vid, I think most people will like. Your production quality and knowledge is great. Looking forward to the vid. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate all the support I've got, guys. It's really still blown away that we get so many subscribers and so many people. So, yeah, it is very much appreciated. Jamie, thanks, mate. Bob, totally agree, Robbo. Thanks, Bob. ADF Rifleman. G'day, Robbo. Looking at getting a 28 Nosler. Have you had any experience with this calibre? I'm hunting Samba and Reds. No, but I'm interested in it too, mate. And I think by the specs, it sounds very, very good. And you might be the test dummy here, brother. Let me know when you get one. But no, again, a lot of those things you've got to weigh up how much shooting. I definitely check. Obviously, you're going to be able to get your projectiles, but I definitely check availability of brass, and not only that, your quality of brass you can get. Look, I'll be honest with you, when I first got the 204, for argument's sake, the brass is what let it down. I could basically only get the Hornady brass and actually had to shoot out some factory ammo to get it. And to be honest with you, it's some of the worst brass I've ever used. It's primer seating depths were all different. It's all right once I've uniformed all those, but geez, it's nowhere near the Lapua or Norma in my opinion. So, all right, Loose Goose, what are your thoughts on the 17 WSM? Another cartridge that's intrigued me. No first-hand knowledge, and really, yeah, I'd be leading you astray if I knew anything more, said anything more about it, to be honest with you. So, yeah, if anyone else knows more on it, definitely post it up here or give Loose Goose a little bit of feedback. But yeah, it's another intriguing cartridge. It's another one of the 17s that's sort of, they keep trying to revamp a lot of these cartridges, but probably comes back to availability of ammo and cases and whatever. So for me, I want to be able to go in and buy stuff when I want it, and that's why I stick to the standard sort of calibers. Right. Bob Builder, what's your thoughts on some people being denied importing 338 Lapuas? Well, it's obviously not good, but I think, look, guys, I think as a hunting community, we've got to stand tall, start wearing our hearts on our sleeves. One of the reasons I sort of started this channel. We're nothing to be ashamed of, guys, you know. We're doing everything legal. So, yeah, stand tall. Together, it's the old saying, you know, together we stand, divided we fall. So, yeah, I don't like it, but yeah, I think it's not going to get easier, that's for sure. Everything's going to get harder to keep what we enjoy, boys. So be prepared for a long haul, long fight to keep what we've got. All right, like usual, I've jumped ahead here. Dale J, ADF Robbo. Okay, Dale's just answering for the 28 nozzle. Thanks, Dale. Actually, I do remember now. You did talk to me about getting that. Reg Parker, how are you, Reg? The best gun in the world is a 22-250. I have a lot of calibers, but the 2250 cracks them all the time. Yeah, a lot of blokes say that. I've never been a massive fan myself. Never really seen the extra speed in the 22 calibers that it really been that much of an advantage over the 222 and the 223, to be honest. But yeah, look, probably the biggest advantage is you can load up a bit heavier pill, and sort of if you want to go on the pigs and heavier goats, possibly it'd be more of an advantage there. But yeah, I'm not saying that it's a bad caliber. It's definitely far from that. But it just hasn't really, you know, tugged on my strings, to be honest with you. Dale's just answering there. Denver Police, 666. Hello from Colorado. G'day, mate. How you going? Gee, I would love to know what time it is over there. I could look it up, obviously, but good to see you here, mate. Thanks for joining in. Boar Nod Knock. He's just answering, Reg. Good. Bradley Moore, Hillside Tika is a fantastic. It's great to see, guys. Yeah, look, I'm just going to keep rolling through here. You definitely get involved, answer other people's questions, because I definitely don't know it all. Here we go. Mohammed Omelette. Hey Robbo, I had a little comp with my mates. I used my 3006 and they had a 7mm Rem mag and a 338 Snipe Tech, and I kicked their asses into the middle of next week. Their calibers are so overrated. Well, yeah, look, it comes down to how they're set up and whatever. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I might have just watched one of your YouTube videos today, mate. So good on you for putting them up. Jamie M. I was loose goose, was tossing up between the 17 HMR and WSM. I was going to go with the 17 WSM, but ended up buying a new Tika 243, the Pope Varmint instead. As honestly, either the 22 or 223 would do the job for my needs. Yeah, can't say I disagree, mate. Andrew Morris, 6.5 Creedmoor versus 308. What would you choose? Well, I'll throw another one in there, the 260 Rem, and it's really going to come down to what you're going to use it for. But if you were, say, swaying more to the smaller deer and sort of longer range varminting, I'd probably go the 6.5s, either the 260 Rem or the 6.5 Creedmoor. Otherwise, for general all-round use, the 308's obviously going to be Samba legal. So, yeah, it really comes down to what your purpose is. Richard Haffer, Robbie Alexander from Wang. I like his videos too. Stay away from Illicky. Hold on, boys. See, I always jump around here when I scroll up. Dale J. Something to also consider is cost of ammo. If you're not reloading, 223, 308 are cheap to run. If you're reloading, then things can come down a long range. Yeah, very true. Like I said, reloading, once you got your brass, if you look after it well, it really is a game changer. Not only in accuracy, but it basically allows you to go to those different calibers that may not be so readily available as far as ammunition over the shelf. Dale's just putting a little bit more up info on there. The 28 Nozzle, thanks Dale. Ben Steer, so you say you had issues with the 204 brass. Would I be better off getting the 22-250? No, not at all, mate. It was just, I think when the 204 first come into play, there wasn't a lot of components available for it when I bought it. It's a different thing now. I think they've all caught up, Lapua, Norma, Winchester. I'm pretty sure you just about buy just about any brass for it now. So, no, like I said, if you're going to swing from sort of foxes down to rabbits, the 204 is definitely probably my choice. If you're going to push up to sort of pigs and goats, probably the 22-250. All right. Rightio. Andrew Morris, need a bolt action production sticker for my job box. I haven't even thought about it. Well, I'll tell a fib. I have thought about it, but I haven't done anything about it, mate. Look, to be honest with you, making videos and talking hunting is probably where my sort of love lies at the moment. Here we go. Hunter and Fish NZ. He's back again. How are you, buddy? I know it's later over there, so it's great to see you here, mate. What do you think about the Weatherby Magnums? I really know nothing of the Weatherbys. I know they've got I think they're about a 9 locking lug bolt and whatever. One thing with the Weatherbys is they've always pushed the limits. That's what they were about. Basically, like if it was whatever caliber, they wanted to go faster than anything else. So if you really want speed, yeah, probably some of the Weatherby cartridges would definitely be worth looking at. But just check their overall rifles out as well, because there's a couple of that I've picked up. And again, there's probably different models, were quite heavy. But then again, that can be a good thing in a Magnum caliber. Yes, Jamie, very much. All shooters do need to stand together. Jeremy Bartier, 7mm Rem mag, Steve. Thinking of doing 7mm SOM or 6.5mm SOM. That's interesting, mate. I heard again about them, know nothing about them because I tend to stick to the basics. Blimey, Denver Police, 3:30 a.m. Good morning. I hope you're working, mate. Don't tell me you're that much of a nocturnal animal. Great to see you here, though, mate. That's the best part of the internet. We can reach out to everyone. Daniel Owen, what are your thoughts on the 224 and how does it compare to a 223? I'm not sure what you mean there, mate, whether that's a typo. They're all 224 projectiles or 22 projectiles shot through both. If you mean 222 and how does it compare to a 223? Well, obviously the 223's got a little bit more velocity. And possibly with the twist rates on them are a little bit different to the 222. I think the 222 off the top of my head is a 1 in 14 standard. Well, the 223 is probably better suited to the 55 grain projectiles upwards, where the 222 or 222 is better probably for around the 50s. All right. Looking for... Jeez, hold on. Right, Jamie. Hold on. Missed some here, boys. Here we go. All right, looking for a new caliber. Have a 22. This is Brendan Pridmore. Sorry, Brendan, for not saying you know. Looking for a new caliber. Have a 22 and a 30-06. Was thinking something along the lines of a 303 would be used for fox and deer. What's your thoughts? 303, to be honest with you, it will do the job, but it's a little bit primitive now, to be honest with you. Yeah, and I don't want to be disrespectful of the cartridge, but I'd go to the 30-06, mate, if you're talking for deer. The Win 338, he's just having a chat to Jamie there. I use a 340 Weatherby built on a Remington Action for sambar, and it works very well. Yeah, good up close, and if distance gets out a little, doesn't recoil much harder than a 338 Win mag. It's interesting. The boys, they're talking fishing now. We'll get them off track. Darren William Sweeney, 6.5 Creedmoor in Vic High Country. Yeah, well, it's not going to be legal on your sambar, so that's an issue straight there if that's what you're going to use it for. Righto, here we go. Let's scroll down a bit more. Alright. Jamie M. The Win 338, no sambar that I'm aware of, but no minimum requirements. Okay, I'm not sure what he means there. Sorry, guys. Hunter and Fisher NZ. Also, I'm only 14 and love hunting. Well, good on you, mate. Better than sitting in front of the computer like we're doing now. But it is night time. So, Tim Edwards, thoughts on premium ammo versus lower end for sambar. $35 for core lock compared to $60 for precision and $80 for Seiko hammerhead. Not too sure how much of a difference it will make. Look, the first thing you probably got to get out of your head maybe with sambar hunting is after you've tested all the ammo and whatever, you're not going to be firing a lot of shots, not unless you're on a real honeypot. So I'd probably take the dollar factor out of it. But in saying that, you can't go past the core locks. They are one of the best value for money and usually shoot extremely well. But in the end, it's no point buying the best bullets, the best ammo, if it doesn't shoot well out of your rifle. So, yeah, look, you might have to go through, buy a box of each and just test how they shoot first. But if that core locks shoot well, I'd probably stick with those, save a few dollars. Matt Boxwell, if or when you do think about doing stickers and merchandise, talk to Bunker Branding. They do stuff for YouTubers and it's run by the guy who has the biggest gun YouTube channel, Demolition Ranch. Oh, okay, yeah, I've watched his stuff. He's pretty passionate, so that's interesting to know. Thanks, Matt. To be honest with you, if I do get anything done, I do like to try and get it made local. And like even the stubby holders I had made, you get on to Daryl Baston from the ADA down in Gippsland. He can help you out there, and him and his wife made the stubby holders for me, so I would rather put the money back into the local community where I could, or where I can. So, but it's nice to know that's an option too. Thanks, Matt. Alex Young, thoughts on hunting sambar with a 338 Win Mag, great calibre. Something I haven't used, but I know a few of the boys that do use them, and yeah, well placed shot. It can really knock them off the legs, those heavier pills. But again, yeah, so you've got to be able to shoot it well. If you're recoil shy, if that nose has got itchy again, boys. If you're recoil shy, you might find it too much gun for yourself. So, but if you can shoot it, definitely a good cartridge. I'm just going to skip over the ones where the boys are answering each other. Again, don't want to be disrespectful, but I just got to keep going on the questions, guys. Jamie M, I definitely prefer less common cals due to reloading. Will be changing my 243 once I wear the barrel out. Mainly bought that one for the action in the future. Yeah, been there, done that sort of thing. But yeah, look, it's whatever really floats your boat in the end. Hardeep Singh, hello mate. Robbo, my cousin beef stew wounded a big stag on the weekend. He was using a 308, maybe a gut shot. Well, that'll do it no matter what calibre, mate. Anyway, going to tip all the hounds into the gully where he shot it in, hope that they find it. Well, either the hounds will find it or go back in a week or so and the birds will be hovering around it. So, yeah, it's happened to us all. It's not a nice feeling, but, yeah, it'd be dishonest if it, we didn't say it's happened. But, yeah, look, like I said, I tend to hold off my shots most of the time if I don't feel confident now. Maybe it's something I do as I get a little bit more older. I'm not, I won't say trigger happy, but look, often when you get a sambar running off on you or something like that, it can be hard not to squeeze off a shot. So, Stuart Carter, hey Robbo, thinking of trading in my 223 trading in my 223, yes, in for a 243. Reasons being is so I can hunt fallow with it. Do you find the 243 with lighter pills good for foxes and rabbits still? Depends what you mean by lighter, but yeah, look, if you're going to use it for fallow, legal in Victoria is an 80 grain projectile. So the 80s are going to be a little bit heavy on your rabbits and foxes. Obviously going to put them down, but yeah, you're probably going to maybe have to stick with the 80s and just be happy with it being a bit heavy on the foxes and rabbits, or load up 2 different rounds. And probably, yeah, probably the lighter end, the VMAX range, the 75s are really good in the 243. But yeah, you're going to probably, if I was to pick 2 cartridges there, probably the 95 grain SST, again, readily available, really good on your fallow. Yeah, and probably the 65s, 75s, I think they do a 65 from memory in the 243. In the VMAX, it's hard to beat for the lighter end. Stuart Carter, unless you have another calibre in mind, what would be better? Oh, mate, I've got to... sorry, thinking of trying 223 for a 243. Maybe Stuart... Maybe look at, again, if you're going sport or weight, don't count out some of these 6.5s now. I think they're a little bit more flexible, to be honest with you, especially down range. So, yeah, the Creedmoor I sort of grew a little bit towards, but then probably the 260 Remington would be something that's, have a look at 260 Rips, I think. Mark Ripley over in the UK, he's pretty potent with the thing he uses. Jamie M, 243 knocks rabbits, foxes, absolutely. Certainly does. Bob Builders, don't think so. Yeah, a few boys again answering each other. Thanks very much. Some of the Swig boys. Foxing 223. Hey Robbo, love your work, mate. Have a Hauer in 204 and been shooting Sallier and Ballot through it. And when I start reloading, are these cases any good to reload? Haven't reloaded them before myself, but just give them a go. I mean, look, you'll soon get experience with them, and if you've already got them, definitely use them. They're not going to be bad. I'm just a bit fussy, and I want to try and get the best longevity out of the brass I use and best consistency. So, Hunter and Fisher NZ, Tim Edwards. Depends if you're shooting long range. If you're shooting long range, sorry guys, I don't want to mumble through, but I want to try and get to the actual questions directed at me. Robert Harley. Hi Robbo, been shooting Sambar and fallow for nearly 30 years. Seiko 7mm08 with 150 grain Rem Corlocks never let me down. Mate, exactly. They are probably... Well, we're all looking for that magic pill, and I can't say it enough that shot placement will beat any sort of projectile choice. Obviously there's better projectiles, but geez, the Corlocks. And even that little combination gun. I bought some just to use it possibly on fallow when I was up north a few months back. And mate, that thing shot an inch group at 200 yards with Remington Corlocks. I'm thinking, they're hard to go wrong. Pedro Bullos. Hey Robbo, what are your thoughts on a 308 for Sambar and fallow? Good all-round calibre. Yeah, well, I've used it. Definitely on the lighter side, and definitely you need to place your shots better than, well, I won't say better, but you definitely need to be more shot placement aware. I prefer to shoot them just front of the shoulder through the neck if I've got the time, and I got the patience to make sure that I wait for the right shot when they're closer. But once I get further out, yeah, tend to go for the breadbasket. But yeah, fallow, fallow, mate. Doesn't take much to knock over a fallow, that's for sure. All right, what do we got here? Dale J, VMAX and 6mm goes down to 50, 55. Yeah, I knew they did the 50s, 55s, have used them, and I've got some here actually, which I'm experimenting with at the moment, but I've actually got the Nosler ballistic tips and the Sierra Blitz Kings in the 55s. And at this stage in that combination gun, I've actually loaded it down with Trail Boss, and I'm actually running them the 55 grain Nosler ballistic tips at 2200 feet a second, and I'm interested to see how it performs just as my whistling gun, fox whistling that is, because I don't need the range. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how they run at those lower velocities. Jamie, and good on you, mate. Thanks for putting that up. Call me Hank. G'day, Hank. What we got here? Hi, Robbo. Love the channel. Thanks, mate. I've got back into hunting after raising 4 kids, and I'm decked out with a Tikka T3X 308. Well, good on you, mate. I hope the kids are into hunting as well. Recommend me a deer round with a view to get into reloading down the track. Now let me just read that again so I'll answer this right. I've got back at home. I'm decked out with a Tikka T3X 308. Recommend me a deer round. I take it you're talking about the obviously factory ammo. Probably the 150 grain Corlock. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but if you're going to be buying factory ammo, I'd definitely start with that. I don't think hard to go wrong with it. Mike Oxbig, this question might be confusing. Don't worry, mate, I'm easily confused. I've been shopping around for a rifle for Sambar, but I'm whipped by my missus. You got any videos of that? What is the cheapest option for a rifle? Might have to go a goddamn Nerf gun. Don't count out secondhand. And I say that all the time, but yeah, look, depending on what caliber, mate, some really good bargain Tikka T3s come up. People that have got into it thought they'd go out and do deer hunting or whatever, and it wasn't for them. So what happens? They go and use guns. So if you know what you're looking for, to be honest with you, I reckon you pick up a second-hand Tikka for, probably anywhere from $600 to $800 in good nick. So don't count that out. Definitely a reliable gun. Richard Hadfield. Steve, do you want my Norma brass to reload my 3 for me? You're a cheeky bugger, buddy. No, not really. Good try. Mark Rankin, what do you think of steel cases? Not sure what you mean by steel case. I didn't even know though. If you're talking about the nickel cases, yeah, I have used them. They were quite bloody hard, to be honest with you. I've never used them for a while, but yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by steel case. I think if you mean the nickel ones, yeah, I don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you. Oh, bonsai. Eric Zwigler again. Is it true that 270 is flat shooting than the 308? Very little in it, mate. Probably with the right pill, the smaller projectile for equivalent weight will have a higher ballistic coefficient. So that probably comes into it a little bit. Well, especially if you're starting to stretch it a little bit further. So to be honest with you, there's not much in it. And again, yeah, if you were to put bullet weight to bullet weight in comparison, I'd probably say the flat shooting of it isn't so much of an issue. It's more how much it's bucked by the wind. And probably the 270 is going to have that higher BC for equivalent bullet weight. Hunter and Fisher NZ. His answer, good on you, mate. Mike Hunt. Hey, Bob, the 30-30 is tried and proven for cowboys. No, everyone's got to have a 38-30, but I don't have one. Deer, rabbits, foxes, you name it, and this calibre will cut the mustard. I doubt there's a better calibre going around. Yeah, it's funny how many blokes that you speak to and say, oh, I do a bit of hunting, and you say, what gun you got? Often the reply is, I've got a 30-30, and yeah, look, there's some classic old John Wayne specials with in the 30-30s, and they do look good. And yeah, definitely, look, they were a massive pig gun years ago. Oh, I'll just scroll down a bit. I think we're coming to the end of it, boys. Jono Window, Mike Oxbid, have a look at the Howard or Weatherby Vanguard as well as the T3s. Can all be good shooters and cheap. Yeah, exactly. Actually, the Howards are very good. Based on a L461 Seiko or Sarco action. Yeah, definitely don't count them out. And yeah, I think, like I said, you've got a lot of options here. You can buy barreled actions pretty bloody cheap. So, Darcy Bevan Ledger, I love your vids. Thanks, Darcy. Hunter Fisher's used 30-30 and shot many pigs in the barrel. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people use them for pig hunting. All right, guys, we're 50 minutes in. Any other questions before I get moving on? Oh, here we go. Darcy Berryman, what grain pills would you recommend for a 243 for fallow deer? All right, straight up in Victoria, if you are in Victoria, it's got to be 80 grain or above. 243, yeah, they're not obviously if you're going to buy factory ammo, the Corlocks again, 95 grain SSTs, and also the 87 grain SSTs. One of my 87 grain VMAX might be a little bit explosive closer, but yeah, look, Hornady projectiles are good because you can always get them. Well, usually you can get them in most places more than other places. They're also cheaper than a lot of the others. Sierra seem to have gone through the roof a little bit as far as projectile pricing. So yeah, I tend to stick to Hornady where I can, and they've never let me down. Mike Oxbig might also permanently borrow my old man's 270 and then never give it back. My missus might probably pull out the cat of night. Oh, more videos. Digger Mel. G'day, Robbo. Great episode yet again. Cheers, Mel. Thank you very much. Axel Meg. Robbo, thoughts on the benefits of Magnum calibers in terms of are they worth it with a shortened barrel life? Well, again, it comes down to what you're using. Magnums on deer, look, realistically, most blokes would be lucky to shoot a box of ammunition a year for deer hunting. So I don't think it's an issue, mate, to be honest with you. As long as you keep your barrels clean and well lubricated. Stephen Porter, how you going, mate? I'm doing well, mate. Doing well. Eric again. Federal Power Shocks I use in 222 243 and they group within 5p. Well, I'll put it this way. Federal have really stepped up their game, and I know they offer a variety of different construction of their pills. I haven't, like I said, I don't shoot a lot of factory ammo, but yeah, I've heard good reports on it. I think Mike Hunt, hunting is about more than just a big name caliber or manufacturer, mate. 30-30 and many other old school models are the duck's nuts for enjoyment. Sounds like very true words to me, mate. Can't argue with that. Bonsai. Hey Robbo, I get totally immersed in your hunting videos. Make them as long as you can stand the editing process. Well, that's the issue, guys. It does obviously take a bit of time. Most of the time at the end, I look back and I'm probably over it a bit. And I probably look at it as a different perspective that you all look at it from. But all I can say is it does mean a lot to us that you do enjoy them. So while I can still make them, I will. Jamie Darcy, if you reload the Sierra 100 soft point boat tail, shoot out of the Tika 1 to 10 twist fine. Haven't tried them on game yet, but hopefully soon. But heard they are good on fallow. Mind you, anything in the right spot. Very true, mate. Peter J. Thanks, Steve, for another great night of enlightenment. Thanks, Pete. Pleasure. Stephen Porter, just turned in. I see you like the 7mm Rem mag. What benefits would I expect over a 308 or similar caliber? Well, straight up, you're comparing a 7mm projectile to a 30 cal projectile. The 7mm slipperier through the air. So basically what that means is you've got a higher ballistic coefficient. You can run it at higher speeds and basically not have to adjust as much as you're going to for the same distance for a 30 cal in equivalent weight. So what that means is if you want to stretch it a little bit further, you're going to basically just aim at your target and it's going to have more chance of being affected, or less chance I should say, of being affected by wind. And obviously it's going to be a little bit flatter shooting. And it will have higher hitting power, in other words foot-pounds downrange. There's no comparison between the 308 and the 7mm Rem mag as far as hitting power. Better all-round cartridge as far as downrange smackdown power, and that's why I use it. And it's still not overly bad to shoot. Quite nice recoil, especially in the lighter rifles. Darcy Berriman, yeah, spot on, Jamie. Just shoot straight and shoot should be fine. Yep. Darren William Sweeney, looking at building a 9mm 39 on Hauer action for wild dogs. Well, that's very, very interesting. I know nothing of that, but it sounds pretty short and potent. Richard Hadfield, thanks, Steve. Good chat again. Make sure, thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Robin Coker, well, you must have been busy. Don't tell me you've been out with that thermal or something, buddy. Good to see you, mate. Jamie M. Exactly, mate. Hit them in the boiler room and they will drop since a 223 drops fallow on the spot, speaking from experience. Like I said, not legal in Victoria, but I know other states they are. So, yeah, definitely. Look, fallow don't take much to put down with the right shot. Anthony Winterfield, we appreciate your efforts. Thanks, mate. It's nice to hear. Dale J. Great chat again, mate, and very much appreciate the effort on the editing side. I shelved my business YouTube channel due to time it takes to edit. Yeah, look, it does take time and you've got to be in the right frame of mind. So sometimes I have to walk away, guys. And Wayne Spiter. Hi, Robbo. I use Federal 38.6 in my CZ 557 and my son's Tika T3 Hunter. And, mate, they drop well at 200 metres. So that's good to hear, mate. Mike Oxbig. Robbo, I agree with Mike Hunt. Big calibre, just compensation calibre for knobs who can't even hit a deer. For example, my mate who uses a 416 Rigby on foxes, he might be a bit undergunned there. All right, guys, we're up to the hour. If anyone's got any other questions, fire away before I wrap it up. But again, look, at this stage, I think I'll just make this fortnightly because I can't say it enough. I need your input, guys. And thanks again to Shane Gibb for bringing this up. And thanks to everyone, to tonight's topic he brought up, I should say. And thanks again to everyone for the input, your feedback, your support. It is very, very much appreciated. And I hope I can keep this going, and hopefully I don't ramble on too much. I think we're just about done. Is venison jerky better than beef? Well, if you get it off Lethal, his definitely is. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks again for all tuning in, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. So again, you got any hot topics, something you want talked about, put them up. So signing out.